Hey everyone, and welcome to the What's in My Bag for 2025 video. It's a little overdue, but I was having a bit of a hard time deciding on what was going to be my dedicated camera. Now, of course, I'm going to have like a rolling set of camera for different videos, but my overarching goal for 2025 is actually to make more YouTube videos. So I'm going to try to release one every week and probably one short, at least one short per week. So if you like camera videos and you want to see something a little less conventional, stay tuned. Make sure to like and subscribe. I keep forgetting to say that in every video. Like and subscribe right now, especially if you're one of the 12,000 people that are constantly returning to view the channel that aren't subscribed. Like and subscribe. So starting things off is this K&F concept backpack. I actually got this one to do an Amazon video on a while back. And instead of selling it afterwards, I opted to keep it because it doesn't look so much like a camera bag until you have a tripod attached to it. It's a lot lighter than my Peak Design Everyday backpack, which is what I normally had prior. I feel like my stuff is a little more protected in here, plus it opens from the back. So that's why I'm going with this backpack. Tripod, that's pretty much always wherever I travel, is the Peak Design tripod. Personally, I don't think there's a better travel tripod because it packs down really light and small. This is the carbon fiber model, but of course you can get the standard one. And I heard Ulanzi, I think, they make like a knockoff version of this that's probably pretty good. So I'm going to have links below of everything that I have, along with some alternatives that I'd pick up instead if I were buying this stuff today. But the goal is, the other goal I have for 2025, other than, maybe cutting another 80 pounds, is actually not buying any new equipment. I feel like I've got more than enough. I feel like a lot of us have more than enough. So I want to focus on actually taking photos and then, of course, taking videos of those photos. And for good measure, just so we get started and we make sure that I can fit everything into this backpack. So lift this open. The reason why I like this one is that it does this. You can't actually open it in its entirety unless you take it off and do it from the back. There's a quick access right here, a quick access pocket, which is great, but I just like the security of no one being able to like open the top flap, grab something, me leaving it on the side and not it being easy for someone to stick their hands in and grab something. I just like the added level of security. I'm actually gonna take the tripod off right now so I can lie this down flat. This is my rolling YouTube setup, so if the top angle is like bouncing back and forth, my bad. But there's no way to stabilize it just yet, at least not one that I figured out. Also, I'm recording this right now on the XT5 over here and the XT3 here because the camera I've decided to carry with me all the time is the XH2S. It was a really, really hard call between the XT5 and the XH2S. Both of them are great cameras. I do like the 40 megapixels of the XT5, but ultimately the XH2S can do everything better other than just, cropping in because it has less megapixels. The XH2S is going to be my primary content camera, and it's set up in what I like to call Rigzilla. Rigzilla is how I'm able to actually shoot everything without putting the camera down, especially since I'm out by myself and I don't want to keep going to the same area over and over again. So quick breakdown for what this is. Of course, you have the XH2S along with the battery grip. I've got this Camelo Arca Swiss plate that I like a lot, even though the small rig cage has Arca Swiss on the bottom. It doesn't have anything on the side. So now, see if I can get the top angle to show this. So now I can actually mount it sideways if I want to take a vertical shot to the tripod. This is the Insta360 1X2. This is an old one, still works great. And this one, for the most part, is going to be the camera that I have pointed towards me. So we can see the camera, the positioning I'm in when I'm taking a shot, and the world behind me. Sometimes it's relevant. And at the same time, this is the Axun CMO where I'll be recording the EVF and the screen. And this will allow you to see everything in front of me. This will also allow you to see like what my settings are at the time. And then I have just the standard GoPro Hero 8 Black I've had for like 5 years, I think, at this point. This will just show you a really wide field of view. So you'll be able to see, in case this isn't enough, like I'm using a telephoto lens or something, this will give you a reference for, I guess, where I'm standing relative to where I'm taking the photo. That was a problem I kind of noticed when I was doing some videos on telephoto lenses where I would say, wow, this thing is pretty far, but you didn't really have a frame of reference for how far out it was. This is the problem that's going to solve. Also, this here is powered by a small rig rechargeable NPF battery, USB-C. Probably one of the best things anyone's ever done. I feel like every battery release should be USB-C chargeable now. And that's effectively what it is. And of course, like my phone is here for the Axun CMO. That's going to be in my pocket at all times as well. And also, if I ever want to sit down and have a chat for whatever reason, I'll be recording on this. This is going to be more of an intentional setup, so I'm going to break this down and pack it accordingly. and we'll get to what the rest of the setup goes. I'll have one lens in the day. I've decided to just limit myself to one lens, although probably going to be carrying this Sigma 10 to 18 with me just in case I want to sit down and vlog a little bit. This is my portrait lens of choice so far, the Fuji 50mm f1, probably the one I'll be walking around with unless I'm testing a specific lens. Okay, so let's take this whole thing apart. Alrighty, 360. Take the rod down, this will go up top. Let's take the CMO down. Cables, we'll keep these together. And this one, like for now, I'm just going to keep this because it packs down pretty light in case I want to pull something out quickly for whatever reason. So the GoPro stays on and it packs in like this. It's just easier for me to pull it out when it's upside down. Okay, so that's the main rig. Next up, ND filters. I always carry one ND filter, a Pro Mist filter, and I don't use Pro Mist filters. There you go, take a look at that. I don't use them anymore unless it's really late at night to kind of bloom the lights a little bit and just to add a little more lighting to the scene without raising the ISO. I've got the quarter strength and the eighth strength in here. And then I always have a circular polarizer, which I do really enjoy more and more, especially if I'm shooting through windows. If you haven't taken portraits with a circular polarizer, grab a cheap one. You don't have to get a super expensive one. Just try it out. They're a lot of fun. And also, obviously, great for removing reflections from water and landscape and cityscapes and all that. So that goes here. I'm using the microphone setup right now, but this is the microphone setup of choice. It's, surprise, surprise, the DJI wireless, whatever they call it. It's the same one that's been out for a minute. I like this one more than the new one just because it's 32-bit float, and I have been in scenarios, especially outdoors in the city, where things were just super loud and would otherwise blow the audio, which you can counter that by setting the gain to really low, but I get the best voice quality out of that, and yeah, that's it. I'm recording on it right now, but frame of reference, this is kind of where I'd put it. So this I love carrying with me because it saves my skin so many times, even for photos. I know people say just shoot in RAW. It just makes your life a lot easier. It's a combination gray card and white card. Basically, this will let you set your custom white balance regardless of what the lighting is, especially if you're in a place that has like those really ugly orange lights that just turns everything super orange. If you set your white balance using one of these quickly, just have whoever it is you're taking a photo of hold it up. You can hold it up yourself as long as the light is hitting it. Or you can even just take a shot of it in one spot and then just go back and reference it, although that's kind of annoying. If you don't get one of these for free in some ridiculous package, like cleaning kit that you've bought off Amazon, then you can get one for like $5. This is a no-name, no-brand one. I'll try to find a comparable one and link it in the description below. They have cards too, but I feel like these are a little more resilient over time, and you're less likely to get different colors and stuff onto it. Plus, it's more compact. Okay, so up here, actually I have some free real estate. I always carry whatever camera body I'm carrying. I carry a lens cap, like rear cap, and also a body cover just in case for some reason I have to separate the body and the lens. It's always good to have it because if you have to separate it, this is kind of like an airport problem people have sometimes. If you have to separate the two to pack them a particular way because some stickler won't let you walk onto the airplane while you're holding it, and you don't have one of those, potentially just a lot of trouble. Save yourself the trouble. Just keep your body cap and a rear lens cap on you at all times. These two are empty. I haven't really seen anything worth adding to it. I will carry my laptop if I absolutely have to. I'm just not a big, if I'm going to be carrying my laptop, that just means I'm traveling somewhere. Otherwise, I don't really like keeping it in my backpack, but there is a space for it. You can put in anything else that you want that would fit and not press up against everything. I wouldn't recommend anything beyond gels, or if you have ND filters that pack flat, that could be another alternative for this. Let's close this up. And this is what I mean about the security. So no one can actually open this unless, here's it when it's closed. You can't access the zippers from here. And I know I'm shaking this top camera like crazy. It's not exactly the most stable setup here, but I'll figure something out for it in the future. On the front, sometimes I carry something here. This is the original Peak Design capture clip. I don't know if they can rat out Luigi for something like this, but that's the original one. There are a lot of competitors now. I like the Peak Design one. It works. I know that PGY Tech makes a pretty good one that's smaller, and it doesn't, you run less of a risk of poking yourself here unless you have the short screws. I have no idea where my short screws are for this one, but yeah, just noting. All right, so up here, there's a rain guard. This rain guard came with the backpack itself in case you get caught in a downpour. It's water resistant, but not water repellent like the Peak Design Everyday bag. But I think that's a contributing factor into why it's not so heavy. I'm going to start off by putting the Insta360 stick there because I do like having that high angle that everyone sees in the videos. It's fun. And the other thing that goes up here is my tech bag. Let me actually just put the backpack down for a second, just so I can show you what's in there. And this comes with me pretty much everywhere. It's in a separate bag because I just pack it for everything. Like if I'm going to a client job, if I'm hopping on an airplane with a different set of equipment, I just take this out of my personal backpack, I toss it onto my work backpack, and we're good to go. So just to show you what's in here, this is an assortment of HDMI and mini HDMI cables, along with adapters, just in case all the HDMI cables like burn out from one side, so I can change it to another. 4K and 8K. This is the Ziller brand, probably easier to see up here. They've been pretty reliable over the years. I've had maybe one failure, and I've had a lot of failures with other brands, so pretty decent brand. Kind of pricey for what it is, but if you're doing it for work, it just makes life a lot easier to get something that works. This is a cover for that small rig battery. This is my remote trigger set. You've probably seen it if you watch other videos. This is just a remote shutter release that also works wired. And it's just in case I want to put my camera up really high. Either I pick up the tripod or I have a monopod with me and I want to take a shot over a fence or over a gate. Typically at like a political rally or something along those lines. Sometimes for street photography, you get a really cool angle when you have a wide angle lens. And it's just a difference in perspective. Also good if for some reason you want to position a camera somewhere and just hit click for, I ain't taking selfies, but if you want to take some selfies or if you're going to be recording video, handy for that reason. And it doesn't really take up a lot of space. I do have an assortment of power cables, 100 watt hour cables. This is the Cable Creations one. I like it because it gives you a readout and a visual confirmation that it's working. You just plug this into whatever it is you're charging and it'll tell you the watt hours that are going through it, so you know that the device is actually charging. I also have spare batteries. I don't carry any chargers with me other than for the main camera. You'll see that in a second. But spare Insta360 batteries, spare GoPro batteries. These are aftermarket. These are the originals that are starting to puff up a little bit and are probably dangerous. So I probably wouldn't fly with these. This one's even puffier than I remember, so maybe we'll play it safe with this one. And that's because obviously GoPro runs out of juice pretty quickly, and this way I'll be able to swap out. Next up, charger for the Apple Watch. Comes in clutch, especially if you get stuck under, like in the subway or something, and then it blows its battery trying to make connection. SD card reader. This one I really just use if I'm going to load something and post it really quickly from my phone or send it to someone quickly. This is my combination CF Express Type B and SD card reader for a little more serious work, but also I use it for the same thing I use these for, in case I want to take video off of my XH2S and load it onto my phone and edit directly there, which I do on LumaFusion. LumaFusion, in my experience, the best thing that you can actually toss a LUT on, a conversion LUT in LumaFusion onto your XH2S or any other log footage. So if you're trying to do like really high quality short form content and you want to edit it on your phone, that's a pretty decent workflow that I found so far, although you could probably just tell the camera to record to the SD card and then just use this thing. But I always like keeping a few of these around because laptops don't have built-in CF Express readers just yet. Okay, so this one, Ilano, I've got these for every camera that I own. This is a fast charger. It's a dual fast charger. It does not charge without anything in there. But I charged these batteries a couple of weeks ago. You can see the reading right here. It gives you a percentage readout of where the batteries are. Fast charge up to, I think, 18 or 20 watts through here, USB-C. I do like the Fuji fast charger, but A, it costs like twice as much as this thing, or like times and a half. And B, I don't like that the batteries are exposed. This has a case for them, and I can toss these out. Initially, I did not carry any battery chargers whatsoever, but for my main rig, for the purpose of my main rig, just in case something crazy happens and I just need batteries. I can't like sit there and charge. I have these spares. And because I'm always by some kind of power outlet or I'm in the car, I have like a PD power charger in the car. This is really easy to keep all batteries charged on my way to whatever it is I'm on my way to. Last thing in this kit, let me toss these back in. All right, so the last thing in this kit is this Inu portable charger. Actually a huge fan of this. Full disclosure, they sent this to me for free and I said I'd try it out for a bit and see if it's worth even recommending. Good news is it's definitely worth recommending, and it replaced the power brick I've been carrying with me for the last 2 years. Let's see if I can find it. So this anchor unit, this was my original power brick that I just carry pretty much everywhere with me. 25,800 milliamps. This is 25,000. And this is thicker, but it's just so much easier to pack because it's almost half the length of this thing here. It fits into this bag. This one, I can't fit it in with everything else that I have in there. So it usually has to sit on the bottom of something, and it's still good. It's definitely still good, but now this has been like demoted to a car PD power charger. Some key features of this one, things that I really like about it are it shows you right here. It tells you this is the 100-watt plug, so input, output, 100 watt. So the input and output here, 100 watt hours. This is where if you have a laptop, like a MacBook or something, or an Ultrabook, and you want to run it directly off this battery, you plug it into this one. It's already marked. Works really well because it'll extend the average laptop. It'll give you a couple of hours of juice. It's really good stuff. This is only an 800 milliamp difference between these two. It's been a couple of weeks, has never really gotten hot. Takes about maybe 2 hours to charge from when it's fully dead. It's got a 45 watt hour charger here, which is good for pretty much everything that isn't PD power. So if you don't have to directly run anything, this is probably the port that you'd be using. It also has, because we still can't get away from it, an 18 watt hour USB type A connector right here. And that is for pretty much everything that can't, and I don't know why this even exists, but like I've got a lot of accessories. These lights from LumeCube, amazing. These are really bright lights. These are really bright, really portable lights. Big fan of them. I use them, like they're strong enough for me to use as a key and a fill. And I used to actually have it on this mobile desk setup here, but then I started needing it in other places, so I just used a really old Amaran light that I haven't used in ages. Internal battery, you can adjust the color temperature and everything. Very solid. The only really annoying thing about this is that you can't charge it through either this one or this one. You have to charge it through like an 18 watt max, and I just don't understand why that's a thing. That's super weird. But there are a couple of accessories that in the camera space that are like that. This is one of them. Like those, a lot of them are lights. Like this one for sure. I've also got like these cheap semi-magnetic lights and whatnot, and it's the same deal. You can't plug it into a PD power charger. So it would charge on something like this. And this is something that'd be handy for like a really late night photo shoot, just to use as a backlight behind someone. Actually, let's see. Also good, obviously, for your phone and AirPods and all that stuff, but this just stays with my camera equipment. LumeCube, I don't know why you guys did this. This is a great light, but now I can finally charge it on the go instead of going around hunting for a USB-A thing. I just keep this cable. In my bag and the problem's sorted. It also came with its own 100 watt hour cable, which is great. I got 100 of them, but these are the future, so 101 now. And the easiest way to pack this up is just to keep all the cables, at least like relevant cables, in the bag itself, along with the charger. Since again, it has a really small footprint. I feel like the power demands and the hard drives are the two things that tech hasn't fully caught up with. So this is a nice way to kind of bridge that gap. And it just fits right here in the tech bag. It takes up half a pouch, even less than half a pouch. No, died? And here, it takes up half a pouch, less than half a pouch. And it all fits in the top. Hold on, I got to change the battery on this XT3. I just realized we now have an opportunity to do the PD power charging, and I should probably drain this since it's, and you know, case in point, I know that it's like I'm shilling for this thing right now, but the thing is, my favorite purchases are always things that just make my life easier, and not needing to hunt down a charger and not needing to like dedicate a large spot in my backpack for power is always a plus. And we got that battery down to 0.0. I forgot how much longer the new Fuji batteries last than the old ones. I'm actually going to plug this into a wall. I don't want to kill this. But yeah, okay. So let's put this all back in the backpack. And again, one last time, the anchor, has really served its purpose over the years. I love Anker as a brand, but they don't have one that's this size. That's 25,000 milliamps, so it loses out. The brand is Inu. Toss it up right here. So it's the Inu fast charger. I'll have an Amazon link, but I'll also have a direct purchase link that you can buy for a couple bucks less in the description below. I feel like 2025, I know Amazon, everyone has Amazon, but 2025, DTC models, direct to consumer, are going to play a bigger role in everyone's life because A, we're a little more price conscious these days, and B, like, we don't need everything instantaneously. You can probably, they solved the problem where it would take like a month for products to get to us. Now it takes anywhere from 2 days to like a week. And if you're saving like 10 to 15% of the price, just buy direct. I wouldn't mind a slightly larger or like softer wall tech pouch, because this thing's like busting at the seams. Okay, let's bring the backpack back. Say that 5 times fast. And this just goes up top. And this gives me a little leeway. Let's just close it up. So this isn't exactly stuffed to the brim. If I want to carry an extra lens, I can. I know I put the camera inside, but how I operate is actually, I normally just have a strap. I pretty much never put a camera away unless I legally have to, because I just like having the camera ready to go. I like having the content set up ready to go, especially if the intention is to shoot a YouTube video. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If there's anything you have a question on, let me know in the comments below. If there's something you want to see in the future, also let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you at the next one. Peace.